Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Junior Chamber would like to welcome you to the 69th Annual 10 Outstanding Young Americans. 30-year-old Vail Horton is an innovative and passionate entrepreneur. He is making an impact coast to coast through his companies and his involvement in the community nationwide. Vail was born without legs and improper bone growth in his arms. He is the founder, chairman, and CEO of Keen Mobility Company and founder and chairman of Incight Foundation. Vail has a true calling to change the world for the better. At age 22, he was prescribed to a wheelchair. Instead of succumbing to life in a wheelchair, Vail invented a crutch with shock-absorbing technology that allowed him to remain vertically mobile. Keen Mobility Company provides world-class products focused on safety, mobility, and comfort for the disabled, elderly, and injured. Vail has now led the company to over $2.5 million in annual sales, 25 different product lines, more than $1.7 million in capital, and 12 employees. Vail was recognized as one of the top 40 under 40 executives in the city of Portland by the Portland Business Journal and announced as an Oregon healthcare hero by Senator Gordon Smith on the floor of the U.S. Senate. Vail, as founder and chairman of Incight Foundation, has raised over $750,000 in private and corporate donations. 15 internships have been created. 127 disabled high school students have received college scholarships to date, and 5 universities have entered matching scholarship programs. He currently speaks all over the nation and parts of the world. He is writing his first book, which is due to arrive June of 2008. Vail graduated from the University of Portland and was awarded the Contemporary Alumni Award in 2007. Vail is married to Elizabeth Ann Horton with their 4 children, Grace, Logan, Catherine, and Kelvin. The Horton family makes their home in Portland, Oregon. Ladies and gentlemen, Vail Horton.
Well, that's cool. Wow, what an honor. Lots of hard work by many, I can tell. Thank you. You know, I remember going into my high school counselor's office before I was a freshman, and I told him without legs and without arms, I wouldn't be much of a football player, so instead I'll get straight A's my freshman year. And so instead of not getting an Oscar from the Academy Awards, I guess this will just have to do. I got to talk quickly because I only have 4 minutes. So I was born without legs and funny-looking arms. And a quick story about my childhood. Besides making a good mop on the floor, one day I asked my mom, I said, "Hey, Mom, would you mind getting down the cereal for me?" And you know where we stored the cereal in our house? Was right underneath the ceiling. You know those cabinets that you have? We stored it in the top shelf. And so I said, "Hey, Mom, would you mind getting me down the cereal?" And she said, "No." So what did I do? I pulled out all the drawers underneath the counter, and I used those as a ladder to prop myself up on the counter. And I've got a little foot and a little leg right here on the left side. And if I wiggle my toes, I used to date cute girls in high school, and we'd go see a scary movie, and if she put her hand on my knee, I'd wiggle my 2 toes and scare her. But at any rate, I'm standing on the counter on my little foot, and I've got a spatula in my hand, and I'm trying to get down the Cheerios, teeter-tottering it as best as I can, and it falls down, and I get down. Of course, my mom's standing behind me to make sure I don't fall down. But at any rate, I take that bowl of cereal to the table, and it's the best bowl of cereal I ever had. At 4 years old, I tugged on my mom's shirt and I said, "Hey, it's time for legs." And so we went to UCLA and Stanford, the top 2 medical schools on the West Coast, and they both said no. And do you know where they don't take no for an answer? We flew all the way to New York City, and the Rusk Institute there fitted me with prosthetic legs, and all of a sudden I was walking with legs and using crutches to get around. I became an entrepreneur at 10 years old. I started selling newspapers in front of our local store in Southern California where it was 118-degree weather, and I made sure that no one coming in or out didn't hear me say, "Would you like a desert sun, sir or ma'am?" At 19 years old, I don't know what the video said, but it was at 19 years old, the doctor said I could no longer walk on crutches, that I had to use a wheelchair because I had developed osteoarthritis and carpal tunnel in my hands. And I thought to myself, geez, crutches haven't been updated since Pirates and Peg Legs. And so I went on this journey. To innovate the crutch, and we put a shock absorber in there so that every time I take a step, the crutches are taking the energy instead of my body. And the tips pivot. We gave the tips an ankle so that every time the crutch is at an angle, it has 100% ground contact. And in this journey, you guys are taking up too much time with this clapping. In this journey of developing a better crutch, I now call the crutch the money pit in our business, but we've built a big business and we've started to innovate all medical products. And here's the reason. When insurance companies are paying for products, what's to motivate a manufacturer to innovate? And the answer is nothing. So that's why you see our elderly carrying around those four-pronged canes that are made out of steel, and they're dragging it rather than using it to help them walk. And that's why you see electric wheelchairs still using car batteries as a source of power. Alan Greenspan was just quoted in Newsweek this week. He was asked the question, what do you think about this upcoming election? And he says, I don't think much about it. I'd rather the country think about what we're doing about Medicare and health care. And so I'm on a mission. The United States spends $1.2 trillion in health care. And you would think with all that money that we'd be able to have innovative products that allow our disabled people to have no boundaries and to be able to go wherever they want to do and to become whatever they want to become. And so that's one part of what I'm doing personally, is to help revolutionize health care. The second thing that I'm doing is I started a nonprofit. There are two statistics that I won't settle for. One of them is that only 16% of people with disabilities receive a college education, and 76% are unemployed. And so what we do is we offer high school students with disabilities a scholarship, and what we're really doing is grabbing onto them, because we're never going to let go. And when we grab onto that disabled student in high school, we're going to help make sure that they go to college and that they get a job and that they get out of their house and live an independent life. And so that's what Insight's all about. The honor of accepting this award makes me think of two things. I'm not here because of myself. I'm here because wonderful, wonderful people have taken me under their wing. I can even tell you the janitor at my elementary school, Mr. Jackson, who whenever a screw came out of my crutches or my legs fell apart, he was always there to help me through an embarrassing moment. And I can tell you every single mentor I've had throughout my entire life, that's one part of the mentorship. The other part is that I looked for mentors. So many kids are often looking at, what to do and competing with the other kids, but for some reason I love to learn from adults and people who are older than me and wiser than me. And so it's two things. Become a mentor, but also ask for mentors, no matter how smart you are, no matter anything. And so part of accepting this award is the recognition of all the mentors who've helped me get to where I'm at today. And the second part of accepting this award is that this is just the start. I'm on a mission. And I have a vision. I do want to revolutionize healthcare, and I do want to help all the 56 million Americans with disabilities live an independent and great life. And I hope that if I can do those two things, that someday I'll be able to be in office as a United States Senator. And then after being a senator, well, we'll talk about that later. But thank you very much for this award, and thank you very much to the sponsors who helped make this possible. Thank you.